Missing 411, The Hunted. What happened to Thomas Messick? Investigation discovery. Yes, guys, stuff they don't want you to know. Thomas went into the woods that day with his son and never came back, and his friends. And I believe that Thomas was a victim of the hunted. Yes. This is where Thomas was at this lake in the mountain ridge over there, and this is the trail they took and parked down, and Thomas went in. That's where Thomas was. The boys went around to the side of the mountain and flushed out whatever was in there towards Thomas. Hello everyone. Today we're going to investigate Thomas Messick. Yes, from Missing 411, The Hunted. This is the lake that Thomas and his friends went to that day, and he was missing, and the day he became missing. This is Lily Pond. That's right, guys. So Thomas and his friends went down here to Lily Pond, and Thomas and a couple other guys stayed on one side of the mountain, and on the side of the road they walked into the woods about 30 feet in off the road. So there's a road that comes down we're not seeing right in here somewhere. It's a dirt road and comes down, and you can park your car, and it's right in these woods, but we're not seeing it. And it's right about in the center of the screen, going right to the edge of the water, which would be right in here. But it comes down like this and then comes over, and there's a ridge of a mountain in here that we're not seeing also that good. But you can see it on maps, and which the ridge is in here, and the trail would come down to the peak, and they went over to the side. So, let me get to, anyways, 4 of them, I believe, stayed on one side of the road, and about 100 feet from each other, they walked in to the woods and sat down, the older men. The younger guys came around to the side over here, up in here, and were coming this way to flush the deer towards the older men, which they were in here somewhere. There's a dirt road we're not seeing, and they were in the woods, about 30 feet in the woods, and placed up in there. And like I showed a map, and Thomas was up here, right in here, and he was the furthest guy on the top there, peak, where no one was around on one side of him. So my theory is, after doing some research, which I've already searched here and I know what I see, that the guys, when they came around this ridge here and they were going to come in this way, they flushed out giant creatures, and I believe Thomas, which was over in here, got snatched up and taken this way across the trail wherever they took Thomas. And why I believe that is because I'm going to show you some pretty wild stuff today. So let's go down and take a look, guys. And when I first heard this story, I really thought maybe one of the younger guys accidentally shot Thomas, and they had a rule of thumb of hunting that if something accident happens like that, they would just get rid of one another and not say anything, so they didn't have to go to prison. That's what I figured what happened. And the FBI, when you watch 411 on this subject, the FBI got involved even. And usually the FBI doesn't get involved unless there's some kind of suspicion like that. Or I guess some kind of creature. So here we go. Let's go on in. I'm going to take you right where those guys were, and I'm going to show you giant looking creatures all over these woods. These woods are infested with giant creatures, just like on Salem's Island. So let's go down and take a look right where these guys were. So I'm going to take you right about where Thomas was. Okay? Thomas was right about in here in the middle of the screen, and he was hiding in the woods, waiting, sitting down, and his buddies were all coming down 100 feet apart all the way down. The guys came around here, and they were going to come around this mountain ridge and then go this way. So let's go right in here to see what they were flushing. Let's go see what they were flushing. Ow. So let me get in here. Oops. Get a good aim. That way you guys can see what I see. I'm already seeing stuff. You guys see the dark figures in there? Like this one right here. You can. I don't know. I see faces. I see ape-like creatures. There's one. There's two. There's three. I don't know if that's an ape-like creature, but that's a creature. You can snap these pictures and clear them up on your phone, which I have already have done. And you'll see these are creatures, man. Look at that. That is a dogman looking creature. All black, hairy, and he has a beak on his face coming down like a dog. And if you don't believe me, you can see the hair on him even. On his leg coming out when he's taking a step. You can see his hand, his arms. You can see the line. You can see the detail, guys. You really have to look at it, and you can see it. That's the dog-like looking creature right there. Snap a picture and clear it up. If you don't believe me or you doubt me, I've already cleaned up a lot of pictures. These are creatures in these woods right here. I'm just trying to find the more detailed good ones that you guys can see that aren't in the woods. There's a creature in the center of the screen. These are creatures right here, the black. All the black, guys, no shadows here. These are all creatures. Look at them. Look at this one sitting on the rock right there. You can make out his nose and his eye frame and his arms spread, and he's sitting down. Oh man. These woods are infested with giant creatures. Now, like I say, if Thomas was my father, I'm not trying to bust anybody's bubble. And I'm not saying no one cares or anything like that. But if Thomas was my father, look at that creature. You see it, guys? The black in the middle. I'm going up. There's his head. You see his eyes. You can snap a picture. It's a dog looking like creature. There's a beak. I can see it. And it comes down. He's holding some kind of stick in his hand or weapon. Snap a picture of that and clean it up on your phone. I'm telling you what it is. And I'm not kidding you. Yeah. So if Thomas was my father, it would drive me absolutely nuts. I don't think I would have gave up searching for him. I think my whole entire life would have been devoted to finding my father. These woods are creepy, and I know those younger men are, tough guys, and they probably are scared of the woods. But now that I know what's in here, I wouldn't even attempt it. Look, you can see these giant creatures right there standing next to each other. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4. There's little ones down here, guys. Anybody who's watched my videos and knows how to find these giants as well are seeing them in this video, and I'm sure they're shocked right now. Look at, you can see his face. I'm zooming right in. These are creatures, man, and they're all over these woods. So, like I said, I believe, look at that guy's face. I believe that the younger men went in here and these creatures got flushed towards Tom. And when Tom's best friend, buddy, heard that smack noise in the woods, he heard a whoof. And that whoof was one of these giants running by with snatching up Tom and running. You gotta figure something that's 20 and 30 foot tall can do loops. I mean, they can run a lot faster than us. So we worked our way up pretty far. So let's get down in here where, let's turn ourselves, and let's get down right where the guys were paced out and sitting in here in the woods. Whoops, right about, let me see again. Right about here's where Tom was, somewhere in here. Let's get down in here and see what we see, if anything was around Tom. Yep, there's creatures all around Tom. There's something right there, standing right in the middle. And when you go into its head, look, you can see eyes, you can see a nose, you can see a mouth. You can see the detail, folks. There's no joke. There is creatures in here. Here's some being looking one, kind of looks kind of like human. Right in the middle, the grayish dark one. Who knows, man? What's going on down here? You know, look at, there's one with one in his hand. I mean, you know, they snatched Tom up. Probably. And then on top of it, Tom had a hat. Tom also wore glasses. Look at that. You can see the detail, boy. Like I said, folks, I've already checked this out, this area, and I've snapped quite a few pictures searching these giant creatures. And I got some really good pictures that I've cleaned up of some massive giant creatures in here. Bigfoot creatures. I don't know what they are, but they're pretty damn scary, man, looking. I'll tell you that. They're pretty damn scary. So, and what gets me is if you just take a look at this lake on Google Earth, and you know, giants are blackish looking. These creatures are, because they're probably, you know, Bigfoot, hairy, whatever. But let's go right down. This just blows my mind. Right down here, and it's like bam, and I see one right here in here. I mean, it's just in Google Earth, they'll write a lot of times. Oh, what's that line in there? A lot of times they'll check their Google Earth right on in 2000 whatever, you know. Look at these guys, man. That's not shadows. These are creatures down there, guys. And they're all over around this little pond lake. And this is their hunting ground. This is not no one else's hunting grounds. Whoa, look at the detail on that one, guys. Look at, you can see whatever that is. Looks like a creature's got something. Maybe that's a human. Maybe that's Tom. This is terrible. Look at that. I can totally see the Bigfoot creature. Head, shoulders, stomach, but it looks like a humanoid head right here. There's something. Yeah, that's just wild. Wild. So yeah, I believe that this is what happened, and anybody that you know, if they really went out and investigated these woods, they would find it's full of creatures, man. You can't walk through these woods, man. You can't go in here. You're asking for trouble. And by my research that I've been doing, I find that these creatures, I find that everybody's seeing more and more Bigfoot creatures, and more, it's just getting more and more. And I believe these giants are breeding and multiplying, and they're going to take over. Look at this. Eventually, we're not going to hide this. I believe that's why a lot of cities like Arizona and stuff, they cut all the trees down. They get rid of all the trees around the city, because then you look at that one in the middle with the antennas on his head. Oh my God, you see his arm coming down with his hands and his arm coming up holding something. That's no joke. Clear that picture up right there, man. That'll tell you, and there's no tree by it, that'll tell you there's creatures. And I believe that's what's happening. They're multiplying, and they cut these woods down to try to keep these things away from us. So even if they did start to come near us out of the areas they're in, they'll shoot them, and they keep them away. Look at you guys, got his arms on his hip. I mean, you can see the detail in these creatures, man. And I don't mean to blow this out there, Tom's family, but I wouldn't be looking for your dad anymore, because those woods are very unsafe. Very unsafe. These woods are loaded with some kind of giant Bigfoot-looking hairy creatures, man. And you can't go messing around in their area, man. Look at that. One sitting and one standing right there. Oh my God. This is an awesome place to research to see some creatures, guys. This really is. There's a lot of... Look at right there. There's a lot of giant creatures here. So, just to say, missing 411, the case is cracked with Thomas. Thomas is never going to come back, I'm sorry to say. They either snatched Thomas up to eat him, or they snatched him up of interest, and I've never heard of anybody coming back telling anything. Well, I guess there's a few people out there that have been snatched, they say, by Bigfoot and returned. So there's this place is full of, look at that guy right in the middle, full of giant creatures, man. I call them creatures instead of calling them Bigfoot, because we really don't know what the hell these things are. We call him Bigfoot. Look at this guy. You see his eyes on bubbles, and then his nose coming down, and I mean, I don't know if you guys see that shit, man. I know there's some people out there that, follow the YouTube that do see it, and they say, these are just amazing, man. And I can put some more videos out to show you how to see these and actually point them out for you. That way you can learn how to see it better, because it is tricky to see. And me, myself, I got to see giants in Solomon's Island, and then when I got home, I looked on Google Earth and found them. And so I know what they look like. And these are the giant creatures, man. I'm putting right in the middle. I'm pointing them out, man. These are the giant creatures. And some of them look like aliens. Some of them look like a monkey. Some of them look humanoid. Some of them look scary as hell. And we don't know. They might not be scary. Who knows, man? But when people start missing, I don't know. And then, of course, different stories, different places. In Salem's Island, they talk of them coming in and destroying the villages and eating the people. And they also talk about the tribal people in the jungle, the 24-foot-inch giants, sacrifice their people once in a while by giving them to the giants to leave them alone. So, look at that one right in the middle. Jeez, dude. Look at that one. These are giant creatures, folks. 411 Thomas Messick. I'm sorry, man. And it's just too bad we ain't warned to just stay out of the woods, period. You know, jeez. There's something right there in the middle. Almost looks like hands, almost looks like legs, almost looks like something laying down there. Huh. Yeah, so, you know, we're not warned to stay out of the woods. We're not warned to, and we need to. When I was younger, I used to go and track bear and try to sit in the woods and get real close to bear. And I got friends and witnesses that'll tell you I did. And real stupid of me. Now that I know what I know, and I have common sense, and I had to prove this shit to myself by seeing it, by taking pictures and cleaning them up hundreds of different times to even prove that these were giants to myself. And they are. And like I said, the main thing you can do is to snap a picture and then clean it up, and you'll see yourself. And start looking around, and you'll see giants that aren't even in near trees, and then you'll go, what? Very amazing shit, man, here. These are giant creatures all over in these woods here where Thomas was. All over. All over, man. And when you go to the peaks, that's where these creatures go. They like to go up in the tops of the mountains. If you were Harry, what would you do to stay out of the heat? You go to the tops of the mountains. It's not as hot. It's cooler. Look at these creatures, man. I'm zooming in on all of these Bigfoot-looking giant creatures. All kinds of them. Look at these right here, these two. Look at the detail on the stomach. Maybe he's wearing a vest or weapons. I don't know. Got something going on in here. But this is amazing, guys. This is just... making sure that's not a body laying there. This is just amazing of the giant creatures that are in here. It's amazing. These are giant creatures. And all the, you know, of course the government and all that wants to deny and lie. They don't want to tell you the truth because they can't explode it and get yourself in trouble. Because they don't want to fear everyone. So keep the fear down. Look at this one. You can see the hand out with a finger sticking out. Head in the middle of the screen. Let's go down the body. The leg to the ground. Amazing. Look at these ones back here. Just crazy, dude. Look at this one. Looks like he has a weapon. Looks like there's a stamp, like I said, or maybe not. Could be parts of the detail. Look at this one. You guys see that in the center of the screen, guys? That's a giant creature. Clear it up, snap a picture of that, and clean it up, and look for yourself. These creatures are all over the woods where Thomas became missing. Look at, I'm gonna go right into his face. You can see he's got a beak-looking nose and eyeballs. This is probably a dog-like dog. What do they call Dogman? That's probably what that is right there, because that is a creature. I'm telling you. And there's a smaller one looking up to him down on the ground down here. You can see his head looking up. Maybe that's his mom, dad, whatever the hell it is. But these are creatures, man. There's another one sitting down in there. You can see his legs. These are creatures. How come they all have detail? How come they're carrying sticks, walking stick looking weapons and shit? I don't believe they searched all these woods And when they did come in and search, I believe it scared these creatures, man. I believe them boys going up around the bend flushed these giants towards the dad and the other guys, and they went towards where there was no people, and Thomas was on the end, and they grabbed Thomas. I like to speak of the truth, guys. I don't, so if anybody doesn't like hearing me say that about them grabbing Thomas, that's what I believe. So I see these giant creatures all over in here. And if Thomas is missing, and look at that guy's face. Oh my God, look at that detail. Oh wow. And if Thomas is missing like that and his friend heard a noise, it was probably one of these creatures grabbing Thomas up and snatching Thomas and running. He probably ran right by Thomas and grabbed him. I think this is redded out. They redded that. It was probably a good, clear, giant creature. And like I said, and that's what they heard. And these guys are smart, man. They know when you're coming. I'm sure they seen Thomas and them pull up. They were up in the hill, and I'm sure they spotted it. You know? Look at this one, looks humanoid right there. Maybe a female. Yeah, so I'm sure they heard Thomas and his friends coming in the car down the dirt road to go hunting and park, and they were watching, and the guys came around and they tried to get the hell out of there so they weren't seen. And let's not forget, a lot of stories say that these things can go invisible. So even the chief of a village in Salem's Island told me that while I was there, that these hairy giants can go invisible. So when you get too close, they can just disappear. And if they can, they must be some sort of entity. Look at these guys. Look at them, guys. I see eyeballs. Amazing creatures. This is all where Thomas became missing. And I don't think Thomas is ever coming back now. It's been a long time. Nobody has found Thomas. When they searched, they said they had 300 people out here searching. And I'm sure these giants all moved, like a herd. Here come some people, let's move, let's get out of here for right now. This is getting crazy. Helicopter coming. Whatever coming. I'm just trying to whip around here, show you guys different ones. That one looks like he has spikes on the back of him. And he looks like he has a normal human face. Look at it, with a mustache looking. Wow, that's crazy, man. Arm sticking out, leg down on the ground. Just wild, guys. Look at that. Look at these creatures down in there. And this is where, like I said, Thomas became missing. And they never found him. Look at that creature. They never found Thomas. So those that are watching and know what you're seeing like I do, now you know why Thomas is missing. And I don't think it was, this is why I think it was, just like I said, how I laid it out. Look at this guy. You can see his arm is eating something or something. Coming down, looks like he has weapons. These guys are smart as can be, guys. They live out here. They know when you're coming. They know everything, dude. It's like a bear. It's smart in the woods. These creatures know everything. They know how to survive out here. They know how to hide out here. And I don't know what that is. They know what to do. So we're all the way to Duck Lake now. These woods are just full of creatures. Just full of creatures, guys. We moved ourselves all the way to Duck Lake. Even if we go on the other side of the lake over here, on the opposite side. Like I said, Thomas and them are over on this side. So what if we go on the opposite side and see what's going on? Look at them. Look at the giant creatures, guys. Look at that. Wow, look at the face right in the middle of the screen. I'm zooming in. You can see the eyes, the nose, the big lips. You can see his hand coming out, standing there. Look at that guy. Wow, or that creature. Amazing. And they're different sized creatures, guys. So I don't know if they're babies and adults or, you know, and a lot of them have different looking creature faces. Some you can see have human looking faces. Some you see have hairy looking faces. A lot of different creatures, guys. Look at that one. Wow, right in the middle. Jeez. Very crazy. I'm definitely going to have to come here and search some of these giants out. Because it's just wicked. These whole forest is nothing all around here but full of giant creatures. Wow. Just wow, guys. Look at this shit. Amazing. Amazing, man. It's just, they're everywhere. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. I'm seeing them everywhere. I'm just going by, seeing them everywhere. Look at that one. Arm out, hands. Holy shit. So, this is the case, guys. I just wanted to come in here and crack it real quick. I didn't know if we'd see anything, but I came here and explored before I did the show to even see if I seen anything in these woods and to make sure what I was seeing was absolutely real. So I came and scoped all this out and snapped a bunch of pictures and cleaned them up. And I got some pretty wicked pictures of some creatures out of here for sure. And then I decided to do the show when I knew for definite that these were giant creatures. So do not go near this pond lake, guys, and go in these woods hunting. You are absolutely out of your mind if you do. All these woods around here. And I'm going to back up. Look at, who knows if these things are everywhere. So let's just take a look. Let's go, whoa, way over here. And let's just go take a look. And see if we see any in the woods. Yep. One right in the middle there. See his arm coming down. Wow, I can see a face. I see like it's wearing something. Almost like a belt with pouch stuff. Look at this guy. Wow. This forest is absolutely full of giant creatures everywhere. Wow, man. They're everywhere, guys. We are not even near that area. We just moved ourselves and just totally went to a whole new area. And look, you can start to see them. See them? See the black? Let's go zoom in. Oh. Too much detail. Way too much detail in the black. Uh-oh. What is this? Okay, there's a road. Goes to that. Okay. I don't know where. Anyways, this is the story. 411. Thomas Messick. Missing. Never found. And I believe we know why now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe.